like, man, what you must be going through is fucking evil. And I even took it a step further. I had to mature myself because I was so fucking mad. And I looked at his family. This guy who was talking this shit, I'm going to say his name so bad, but I never will. Because that's a fucking bitch move on my part. You can take food out of his family's mouth. You're going to have this guy in the courthouse. You can have him in the courtroom, spending money on lawyers. And I just dropped it. I said, I'm good. I said, I know who the fuck I am. I said, you can wake up every fucking morning being the bitch that you are. But I'm not going to fucking take money out of your pocket and money out of your mouth or out of your fucking kid's mouth.
And this guy wound up apologizing to you?
He didn't apologize to me. What happened was he got on, and I don't want to go too deep because they'll figure it out. But he ended up basically saying he had a fucking, he just wasn't, he wasn't right in his head. He was he wasn't good. And I can tell he wasn't good because he was literally DMing people. And I wish I had Jennifer in here, man, so she can show you the DMs. He was DMing people and talking all this shit, and then he would delete it. And this guy, so Jennifer found it. And so, because this guy DM'd Jennifer and was like, hey, do you know this guy? And I was like, yeah, I know him. And then Jennifer was like, hey, we got to fucking shut this shit down. But he was DMing several people just saying that I was dishonorably discharged. I was kicked out of the SEAL teams. I refused to go to combat. He just went on and on and on. And so this guy was taking screenshots of what this guy was saying and sending them to us. And so at this time, now we have a lawyer. And so we're getting all this shit, dude. And then he had a YouTube site set up that he took down, just trying to literally ruin who I was. And I looked at all this shit and I studied him. And I was like, man, and what came out later on was he did have some demons. He does have some demons.
Of course he does.
Serious demons.
That's how insane it is that the guy deployed with you.
SEAL Team 6. And these motherfuckers are supposed to be badass motherfuckers. See, this is some of the issues I had when I was in, is that when you work so hard, man, I put these motherfuckers, like I talked about last time I was on this fucking shit, on a pedestal. Half the reason I ran on broken legs, half the reason why I fucking became who I became was because of the image these guys had on me. I was so impressed with the books and the fucking and the people that they were. I was like, my God, man, I gotta be a fucking god. I gotta be a god mentally to fucking get in here. And once I got in, I discovered something different. I'm not saying everybody. I don't know everybody in the SEAL teams. But I had a problem with the fact that a lot of people lived this shit. Like a lot of the civilians, like, oh my God, the SEALs are this, the SEALs are that. You were able to run Badwater 135 because you're a Navy SEAL. And because like, no, motherfucker, that ain't why. And I always knew the shit. And I had issues with it, man. I had issues with it. So I had issues with it. A lot of people didn't like that. And then I went on to go into recruiting for a little bit. And then the heart surgeries happened. So the more I was in recruiting, the more that shit happened, they just started slowly building up lies. Slowly building up lies. And when I came out to who I told Jennifer, I knew it. I said, stand by. Stand by. It's coming.
Whenever you're a person that gets what other people think is attention that they think they deserve.
Yes, sir.
That's when things get weird.
Oh, yeah. That's why they bring those fucking deployments. Because they think, oh, my God, you didn't deploy as much as me. You didn't deploy as much as me. He wasn't this. He's not known for being, for deploying and shit.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers don't care. Yeah, I have a combat deployment, and I deployed another time that we were supposed to, it was right during 9/11. We were supposed to go, and they fucking had us over in Guam. We were all pissed off. It didn't work out that way. But I got over there. And what's funny about it, this is what makes me laugh so much. There's a lot of Navy SEALs who never deployed over combat ever. Ever. And it makes me laugh because motherfuckers want to act like one combat deployment where I fought for my fucking country is bullshit. Think about that. Fought for my fucking country, did my shit, sorry it worked out the way it worked out, and that's not enough.
I think part of the problem with some of those guys is when guys are seriously alpha and they think they go above and beyond and they push harder than anybody, and then they meet you. And you're the guy that's getting up at 3:30 in the morning yelling at them while you're running. Like, I know you're sleeping. I know you're still in bed. Motherfucker, I'm out here running 10 miles before you eat breakfast.
That's half the reason I did it.
Yeah.
That's half the reason that motherfuckers go on to fucking Jalisco's and shit, getting waffle breakfast and fucking bacon and eggs and shit. And that bothered me. And I said, motherfucker, I got my family and everybody thinking I'm some fucking stud. And you all just gotta fucking lift some weights. Y'all don't wanna fucking, like I said, I was in charge of people.